Okay.
See some sound. All right. Oh, we're back. We're back. We're back.
All right. All right.
And once again, welcome to this edition of TNT.
Boom, boom,
Boom.
boom.
Yes, sir. With Mikhail Lamel, I'm Pastor Joe. We're back again, live in a living color. And definitely excited to be with all of our people out there in TNT land, our boomers. Boom
our
on in.
Our boomers.
Make sure you like, share, and subscribe while you getting busy.
Man, oh man, oh man.
And all of that good stuff.
Yeah. So we were talking a few minutes about backroom banter. And we were talking about some pastors in Atlanta, in that region, and also I said it jokingly with my brother, but he is not a closet fan of this person. About Larry Reed. Would you like to speak on his him? I don't know who he is. He presents so many things.
Larry Reed is I'm gonna call him a very popular Christian blogger, particularly blogging about the African American church.
Is he a Christian?
I mean, I think he would say he is. So whatever. He has a YouTube program, which I guess we just plugged, and very popular, on social media. He is, he makes his living and makes a very good living on YouTube and Facebook with his show.
He's inflammatory most times, though.
Yep, very inflammatory. Definitely very controversial. He, if I'm not mistaken, did he used to pastor?
I think so.
I think he used to pastor, or he used to be a preacher, or minister, or something. Claims that he is functions as a prophet, has the gift of prophecy and visions, and not too long ago, actually just posted all of the prophecies that he put forth that actually came true over the last year or so, couple of years or so. But he says things that just get on my nerves, and that's the point. You know what I mean? He wants to get the clicks, get the likes. It's very difficult for you to engage with somebody on their platform because they can just ignore you if you make sense.
Right.
And so sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I would say, like, the other day, well, maybe a few months ago, Pastor Darius Daniels preached a message about astrology. Well, part of the message was about astrology and how it's not necessarily a sin, I think was his point, but it was essentially, in his mind, something that we shouldn't really be participating in as Christians. And of course, Larry Reed didn't jive with that, made a post, used a lot of scriptures citing how God names the stars, going to the book of Job, talking about how, God talks about Orion and Pleiades and all of those things as justification for why we should bang with astrology, signs, African, traditional African religion relied on those things. The stars, again, are signs and all this kind of stuff. And it just was so bad to me, like that you're just using the scriptures wrong, which I feel like he does a lot.
Indeed.
So in this latest one, Donnie McClurkin is caught up in something. But I mean, I don't know. Can you add the context to it? Because I understood that what's happening with him now is something that happened a long time ago. It's very old.
20 plus years ago.
So, but somebody's like
resurfacing, saying, but Donnie McClurkin is also about to release a new project.
Okay. All right, so that works too.
It's right on. It's right on. You know,
Right.
it was right in that time with him.
Okay.
Finishing, and this is supposed to be his last project.
Right.
And everybody was looking up to that and looking forward, and being very positive. And now this.
And so,
and it's on TMZ, so it's big.
Yeah, it's big. Well,
broader than just the Christian community.
Yeah, because Donnie McClurkin, I mean, he's definitely crossed over to just more than the Christian community. But
yes,
if you are a fan, he's been outspoken about his past.
Period.
I mean, he's literally said the words, "I was a bishop's whore." I've heard, if you know his testimony, he said that.
Yeah.
And his claim is that he got delivered and doesn't function in that world anymore. I've never heard him say that he's never been tempted in that world again.
Right.
That there might not still be urges that come from him from time to time, but that he's learned how to function as a man dedicated to God that knows how to bring his sexuality under control. Well, anyway, Larry Reed basically said that there's no such thing as ex-gay. That ex-gay is a mind game that the church, particularly the African American church, has placed upon people because we don't know how to deal with complex issues of sexuality.
Right.
And that if there's such thing as ex-gay, then obviously there has to be such thing as ex-heterosexual. And I guess the point that he kind of, is on is that if you were ever ex-gay, then you never were gay. And the same thing is that if you're ever ex-hetero, then you never were hetero to start with. Which I just don't know how you do that.
Well, I was saying that, it would take some validity and credence from the Most High by saying that you cannot be this and it's not possible to be X something.
Right.
Which means none of us would be saved or be able to change or be transformed by the renewing of our minds or any other pick any scripture. The whole fundamental, the foundation of it is then distorted and untrue.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And I think that his argument would be that the Most High creates us hetero or homo,
right?
Or some in between.
Mm-hmm.
And to that, I don't even really want to deal with that. But what I would say is that it is well documented throughout the entire history of Christianity that some people, men and women, have had sexual relationships in their past, and because of their dedication to God, have taken vows of celibacy.
Yeah.
And from what we know, have remained celibate from the time they took those vows until they died.
Right.
So you could argue that no, they did not become homo, but what's the one? The asexual. They became asexual.
Right.
And so if asexual is absolutely a possibility because of a conscious decision, a vow, a grace that's come on you, then I don't know how we can just discount the fact that if you're homosexual, that you could not be that, that you're trapped in this forever. If you're, when we know that you don't have to even be trapped in heterosexuality forever. You can literally live a life that you don't have sex or sexual relationships with anybody. And people do it. We have priests. Of course, that's not a good best example. But we have nuns. We have monks. We also have regular people that have just decided, man, that's not how I'm living my life.
I know some, actually,
right?
And they are asexual, not moved by sex. The idea of it, the conversation of it means nothing. And I'm fascinated with that. I love that, the idea of that. But I would say that this whole conversation, this presentation rather from Larry Reed, undermines our very power to choose, the power of choice. In Genesis, says that all are born in sin and then shaping in iniquity. We've discussed this on TNT a few times about the different tiers, if you will, sin, and how iniquity is a known sin, right?
Yep.
That you continue to indulge in or,
Yep.
or perpetuate, knowing that I'm going to do this anyway, sin.
Right.
Then it becomes iniquity, which
Right.
is a level. That is a different level than just, sin. Because I've talked about this as well. There are consequences for your ignorance.
Yes.
But not accountability.
Right.
Accountability comes with knowledge. Yes. Right. And so when you know something, then you're accountable more to it.
Yep.
Right. So that being said, you can choose to stay where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose not to stay where you are. You have the power of choice to come to Christ or to not, or to refuse.
Right.
It's very simple.
Yep. It's very simple. And we try to complicate stuff because we use these pious things that, all unrighteousness is sin. The Bible teaches us that all unrighteousness is sin. But the Bible is very clear, like he just said, that yes, we've all missed the mark because of the holiness of God.
Right.
But that doesn't give you license to say, well, I screwed up, so I'm gonna just keep screwing up.
Right.
Right. I mean, even from a legal perspective, if they say ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law. So you break the law, you mess up. The judge says, okay, you ain't know, boom, boom, boom. Well, if you come back to that judge 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, it's not gonna be the same as the first time you came.
Correct.
It's gonna be, oh, you think that you are better than the law. So we're gonna have to treat you as such. We give that space for a judge in a black robe, but we act like God it doesn't have similar standards, that's where the standard comes from. You just can't keep doing, you know what I'm saying? Like
I do. This guy, Larry Reed, is a very interesting fellow. And I wouldn't mind having a discussion with him in person.
It would be great. We got to get bigger, I guess.
Right. Well, if we're stuck on telling the truth as God gives us revelation and stuck in that, then I don't think that we will be as spectacular. We have the potential to be, because God can do those things, but we won't be as salacious. We're not as salacious as a Larry Reed or a few others that we can who remain nameless.
Yeah.
So Darius Daniels, where is he located?
He's originally in Jersey, but he has a church in Atlanta now. Y'all just gotta
Why do you suppose Atlanta is such a haven for alternative lifestyle choices?
I don't know.
Another good question.
It's a fantastic question, because you kind of have in America, you kind of have the two hubs, right? For the African American alternative lifestyles, really, it's Atlanta. For other races, white, whatever, it's San Francisco, pretty much. And of course, there's a cross section of either. But I don't know. I don't know what it is about Atlanta that it makes it such a hotbed, if you will, for whatever's going on down there.
Have you ever visited Atlanta?
I've been to Atlanta a number of times. It's a wonderful city.
What was your take? I agree for myself as well.
Wonderful city.
Is it somewhere that you would live?
No, absolutely not.
Not single or married?
No, not for me.
Not for either one? I mean, you're married, got children,
Not for me. I love it. I think Atlanta is a wonderful city, and I think it's a great place to visit. I'm fine with visiting.
Yes.
But Atlanta doesn't work for me. And it's just, this is me. I love the city of Memphis. I think I could live in Memphis, right? I really do. But Atlanta doesn't work for me. And there's no disrespect to the city. I've had fun, a lot of fun down there. They got good food. It's a lot of black people, you know what I'm saying, in very prestigious places at all times. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But it doesn't work for me.
Yeah. I was I feel everything you said. I'm second and third and fourth that. I've never been addressed or approached so much as by men, and it's not shade him, but they look like him, bearded, masculine. You know, Pastor Joe's a man,
right?
You would say, "Oh, hey, what up, bro?"
What's up? Right.
And to be saying for something of a different response to come back to me, that I'm bewildered by it personally. You know what I mean? And I spent, I'm in theater,
right,
and entertainment, and so it's commonplace. I'm not any phobic or anything, but I'm taken aback. I've always said that if you're going to be a man that loves men, or a woman that loves women, or that has a preference for that, it should not change your your presentation,
right.
your you know what I mean. But why would you look this way and do something different?
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me. I think the same way. And it's a very sensitive subject because there are some men that just, are into other men, and you can't necessarily tell from looking at them.
Right.
But if we're being totally honest, most of the time you kind of can.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's the mannerisms are different. There's just kind of a way that they function, that they are. And it's very interesting because the word is that I'm a same gender loving man. I'm a man who is attracted to men. Well, that's kind of not true, right? And I'm not trying to tell nobody who they are, but you're kind of a man who's attracted to gay men, because most of the time, like a dude like Shaq, right? I mean, just I'm gonna use him as an example, right? That's really probably not what you're really into, right? You're a lot of times are more into the more effeminate guy, if we can use that term, or the guy who is, into the softer side of his sexuality or whatever. And it just hit me, man, that Atlanta's kind of the black hair capital of the world, and so that could have something to do with it, because a lot of brothers are fantastic hairdressers, and but most of the guys that are the best hairdressers, they're not, the football player type guy. They're kind of usually a little bit on the feminine side, and so that could be part of the draw, you know what I'm saying, for the city. And then of course it just kind of goes from there. We just shoot, but it's very interesting.
I mean, it has become what is now, I would say, a safe haven for alternative living, and just like San Francisco, as you mentioned. And I don't know that because they have, we had this thing where we say is a church on every corner, and churches so many, but Atlanta is a hub for mega churches.
Bro, it's crazy.
Like mega churches, and nobody's addressing this. So now, what do you say to that?
I mean, it's interesting because, as a matter of fact, I heard Jamal and Darius Daniels having a conversation about it, and they were talking about what's the hot dude right now, 2819, Philip, him,
Philip Michael,
and they were like, man, you can throw a rock in Atlanta, and there's a black church that has 1,500 members, and some of them, if you process it, those are small in comparison to some of the numbers that some of these guys are running. And there are major guys down there. E. Dewey, major. Jamal, major. Creflo, major.
Which is a other section of people,
right? I mean,
than Jamal Bryant,
right? Exactly. Right? I mean, and the thing is, like, Atlanta it's not like 4 or 5 million black people there. Like, the city isn't. It's not that bigger than here. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of the numbers, but you'll look up at a church, it'll have 5,000 members, 10,000 members.
Easy.
When people don't know this, but at the height of Eddie Long and TD Jakes, Eddie Long had the bigger church.
Right.
He was running 30 to 40,000 people.
Yeah.
He was renting out the Georgia Dome for Easter.
Yeah.
That is not.
Right.
That's that. He was renting out the freaking Georgia Dome for his Easter service. Yeah. His church was bigger than
it was packed. Standing room only.
Packed. Yeah. Packed. Like New Birth has never gotten back to that. And Jamal, he's trying to get it there. But at his height, he had the biggest black church in the country. And it really wasn't that close. Like, let's say Jake's had 30,000. He had 40. Right. In a smaller city. Right. So it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Edu is down there. It's like so many guys. And these guys, they don't have no 1,500 members. Like, the average, like the small guys, Mark Moore's down there. Like, there's so many guys that are down there that they running huge numbers, which is part of the culture. You know, it's part of the culture.
Right. I would say with all these churches and all the numbers, where's the change? Okay. I mean, do we get the smoke tonight or we don't?
We gonna get it.
Okay.
We got
where is the change where your ministry is? Where is their transformation? Your church is named Transformation, but no one is being transformed. Your church is named, whatever your church name, I'm just saying, Healing Ministries, nobody getting healed. So I ask them, what is the point? What is the point? Is it for motivation? Is it for money? You know, my dad and I were talking. He watches these TV preachers, and we sit there and watch them. We'll watch, you know, a couple of hours of TV preachers, 2-3 hours.
Right.
And we're talking and having wonderful dialogue about what they're preaching in the Bible, different things. And a few of them, just not for me.
Right.
I sit there, but it's not for me.
Right.
Joel Osteen, not for me. Since we call the names, I'm not afraid to call names on TNT.
Yeah. We just, he don't have to be for you.
He's not for me.
Not
he easy average 20 to 30,000 people,
at least.
Average.
Right.
But when I listen, I don't hear no transformation, no transforming word.
No.
I hear a motivational speech.
Right.
And he's of the best of that.
Yeah, he's great at that. Fantastic.
But I don't hear any transforming words. So I'm asking, I guess, the boomers and you, where is the change where your church is?
I think that we have to, I think that all of us kind of need to be audited, right? Because that's the question. Like, that's a powerful question. And I want to present kind of to the discussion a whole different element, but same question. Because not only are there huge African-American churches in Atlanta, there are huge Caucasian white churches.
Yeah, correct.
Charles Stanley, legendary. First Baptist Church, huge, right? And I can't necessarily rattle them off like I can rattle off the African-American churches, but there's a bunch of them down there.
Indeed.
And when you think about the city of Atlanta, it is so highly segregated and divided.
Yeah.
And the question really for the body is transformation. Because just like we should expect transformation from people that are living what we believe the Bible says is alternative lifestyles, we should also expect transformation from people that are living as racists, that are championing things that we don't believe Jesus would be in favor of.
Wow.
And the hardcore reality is that the South is called the Bible Belt, right? You from pretty much here all the way down Texas, all that, it's churches. I mean, some nice, huge churches. And there's a lot of non-conviction from the preaching and in the pews, because they kind of just accept to do things here, but refuse to allow the word to really change and transform them into what it should be. Mm-hmm. And so we all kind of like it. I feel like this is a clarion call. Like, we need to be talking to a lot of us, like, what's going on?
Right.
Because how can you be racist and Christian and be good with it?
I saw a video today that Joe Biden, they lined up about 4 or 5 of his over the years. He was younger up until the first video, he was about maybe 30,
right? Yeah,
35.
Young, right.
Said we already have a nigger mayor, so we don't need another nigger politician, something like that.
Uh-huh.
And this is what he said, very matter of factly. Everybody was like, "Yeah, you're right." You know, at that time. And but then he goes on to say other things of the years. But then this is who majority of people that look like us, melanated, vote for that.
Right.
He
was
but he professes to be a Christian.
Yeah, he's Catholic. He was crime bill guy, right? I mean, he was the major, him and Hillary on the whole super predator. That was all. That was them at the time,
right?
And I mean, to add the politics part to it, it's so crazy because we've said it 100 times that it just feels like if you're an African American Christian in this country, you just don't have really any viable choices, right or left.
Right.
You can say middle, but both sides are going to have very fundamental practices and principles that should be difficult for you to square with your Christianity.
Yeah.
And so it's just like you don't really have much of a choice. You can, I guess, choose the lesser of two evils. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
The lesser of two evils is still evil.
It's still evil.
It's still evil. Be clear about that.
It's still evil.
The Clem Jim says the church I go to, pastor preach about people living together, but the couple still don't listen, and this is a small church.
Yeah.
I think that's a good example, Clem. I charge preachers specifically with this frequently, evangelists. Our charge is to give the word, present the truth. That's when pastor get up, his charge is to declare what God deposited in him,
right,
to give to the people.
Right.
That's the base bottom line thing, right?
Right.
Any Joe that he put in it,
right,
is on him,
right,
right. And I'm not speaking. Let me be clear. I'm not speaking about Joseph's delivery, because that's how the package is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I'm talking about what he put with his self in it. That's out of order.
Right.
His charge as a preacher is to give the truth and not to judge the people whether they receive it or not. Exactly. Give the truth.
Exactly.
Preach in season, out of season. Preach, preacher, preach.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And we get caught up in not just sharing the word, but trying to enforce the word.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's not our job.
Where if you preach the word changes. It does its work. It's perfect work. The word does when preached effectively and truthfully and righteously. That's all I have to say.
Man, 100%, man. I'm gonna share a testimony of there was one watch night service where Lenore and Zeta, their mother, was praying, and she was praying, and she literally was like, Lord, send in the alcoholic, send in the drunk, send in the person that's high right now.
Yeah.
And it literally happened. We had a guy that
was on Starham.
I
think I was there.
You probably were there.
I think I was there.
We had a guy who
was
on his way, and he'll tell the testimony. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to know. But he was on his way to a party, had the reefer in the car, he says, and couldn't get past the church.
Right.
So he comes in church and got saved, threw all the stuff out. He was living with a woman. Now, here's what's crazy. Like, my dad is one of those guys who believes that holiness is right. But my dad is not one of those guys who is going to stand up on the pulpit and like send you to hell for stuff, right? You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
He's going to just give you the word.
Yes.
So dude get saved. He been living with this woman for I don't know how long. 2 weeks later, they get married. They've been married ever since, have been functioning in the church ever since. She's a missionary. He's an elder.
Right.
And what happened was God changed them.
Yeah.
My father helped disciple them.
Yeah.
But the change that he felt like he needed, that really became him and the Almighty.
Right.
He got saved and decided, I gotta clean up.
Right.
I gotta
clean
this
was vertical
stuff up.
though, and it was his.
Exactly. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So your word, I always say you could preach a better sermon with your life than with your lips.
Facts.
And the word, when preached effectively and righteously and rightly divided, it will make the change happen.
Yeah.
But that's not your business to enforce the word.
Right.
Because then we get into judgment. Even preaching, fire and brimstone, condemnation preachers back in the day, the enforcement of scriptures is different.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we should be mindful when we're sharing
yep.
And preaching and teaching to make sure that this is it. I can't give you
right.
It don't, and it's bland. It don't have no sugar on it, and it's very this is what it is.
Right.
You can take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
You're hungry.
Right.
Here's the food.
Yep. Do what you want to do with it.
That seems pretty simple to me too.
It's that simple, man.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. The color of it should not also, like we were talking about Larry Reed and E. Dewey Smith and Darius Daniels, your coloring of the presentation should not distract or discount the word that you're presenting.
Right. Yep.
Because he still can be Joseph in presenting that with his finesse and pizzazz and flair.
Right.
But it should not discount or distract from the preach word.
From the word.
You agree?
I totally agree. I talk about it quite often. We the concept, the incarnation, capital I, that's Jesus. But we should have little I, like the word becomes flesh.
Yes.
Right. And you embody whatever your presentation is. The word is the most important thing. Obviously, you have to present it how God gives it to you or how you are. But that idea of it, coming to life, I think is represented, of course, in the supreme archetype with Jesus.
Right.
But I think all of us have that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
In our context.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good analogy. That's a good saying. I think that these pastors start reading their own press, so to speak, and believe in the hype of themselves.
Yeah.
And get caught in self, kind of like David, what was that guy, the light-skinned preacher that took all the money, JMMI Ministries.
Yep.
He started believing in it. He's saying, give me your money and I'll multiply it. He literally said this to the people. Like, I'll multiply it.
Crazy.
What? You know what I mean? And because the people were coming and again, salacious, this will be our word for this evening. He was giving us the itching ears. He was giving a salacious word. So they were coming, but he was transforming that into his lining his pockets.
Yep.
And then, from the outside looking in, you give all the preachers a bad name. Well, Joe ain't going there. He's just going to be asking, taking my money, and, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
When he don't even do that. So he's not even that guy. He don't drive a Bentley.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Nope.
His car need work right now, I'm sure.
Facts.
Mine do too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the humanness of it, the lowliness of it,
Yeah.
Not that he is low, but the approach of it. Like we are trying to do it properly.
Yeah,
right?
the big guys have bigger responsibility.
Yes, true.
And a lot of times, I don't know if they shoulder the responsibility that they have, the platform they've been given for the smaller guys. Drewski just did a crazy skit that it had some people up in arms. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
About the mega pastor,
right?
Coming in, flying in,
and,
all the way that kind of it is, because in some cases it is a show, and definitely appreciate a lot of the people who were commenting and defending the smaller guys like us that I'm bivocational. I work and I'm a pastor. I have been, the whole time. We don't have that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even if we grow to that, it's never gonna be that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ministry has to be financed, obviously, but the point of it isn't to line, my pockets or the church's coffers. Is to do ministry, is to do work, is to try to, make a difference in people's lives. And guys like me, somebody sees a skit like that and you come to our church or whatever, we're bearing the brunt of the foolishness that the big guy did,
right,
that has nothing to do with us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I heard Corey Holcomb, pretty famous comedian, going in about
yeah, right,
Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant.
yeah,
Like,
right,
man, that ain't the word, man.
Right.
You can't be doing that. Like,
right.
that guy is like, come on, man. Like, that's tough.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
tough to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's tough to deal with.
Are you familiar with vow of poverty?
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
vow
you,
of
yeah. You
I was
told us
talking
about it, but
about
I was familiar with it before
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
I think that, and it's primarily a Catholic thing, but we are all living under Roman everything,
of course,
right here.
right.
So, but yeah, that living that way should be able to sustain ministers, which let me preface it by saying we're all ministers, right?
Right.
We administer what God has gifted us with.
Right.
That makes
Right,
sense.
exactly.
We administer it. So we're all ministers in that regard, right?
Right.
And so that being the case, we should be sustained, just like the Bible says they bought all they had and then dispersed evenly, none was lacking.
Right.
And that is a precept that we could stand to be implementing right now, like Black Wall Street. I know that's how it flourished in Tulsa and in Rosewood,
Yep.
and Durham, North Carolina, all these different places that had the Black Wall Street mantra and the theme of it, the drive of it. Those places worked together,
Yep.
shouldered up together, and followed that basic principle. We all get it. You know,
Yep.
If he's a teacher and then I'm a contractor, or a handy worker, then I'm going to build his addition to his house, and my children are going to go to him during the day, and he's going to teach them.
Right.
So now both of those things are getting done.
Yep. Yep.
He's not going to be hungry because he got a farm, right?
Yep.
And I'm fixing his car so I can get some eggs too.
Right. It's a beautiful way to just community, man. You know what I'm saying? Community.
But we have this, we have a case of the big eyes and little U's. So, unfortunately, those things don't happen as often. I was in a conversation, I think it was yesterday, and we were talking about how you can't have something like that because people are afraid, people are not going to know how to just, they go with what they're familiar with and comfort. And I said, that's the point, isn't it? Because slavery wasn't right, but Nat Turner was over here, and some people were fighting against him to keep slavery. Like, they didn't know. Some people didn't even know they were slaves. They just, this is what they know it's like.
Right.
So I mentioned that and we were all talking and saying about, there's not just violence or just Nat Turner. I said, yeah, Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, everybody you can think of, Harriet Tubman, used whatever their thing was, but it was against what was happening.
Right.
They went, the flow was going this way, and they went this way.
Right.
And very few people, you get 100 people and only 5 come. Those are the 5 that's going to make the community and make the city that you need over here, or the stand that you need over here.
Yep.
So children of Israel left and then wanted to go back.
Kept trying to get back. Kept trying to get back.
So yeah, I want to be the one that steps away. And I made a story post recently, the power of stepping away. And the matches, there was a book of matches, and these were burnt, and this one slid down.
Right.
So it wasn't burnt.
Right.
So all of them were not burnt because this one stepped away.
Stood down. That's crazy. Yeah. That's
the power of stepping away was in them.
That's powerful.
Isn't it?
That's powerful.
But very few are built like that and willing to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes you have to have a level of courage, and of course there's going to be a grace
and faith.
And faith, and then you have to be able to have the guts to deal with how people are going to fight against it.
Yes.
I think we talked about Ice Cube and the 3-on-3, and how, you know, the NBA hates that he has this,
right?
Because they want to control all the basketball, and they're a behemoth. So small leagues and all that kind of stuff just get squashed out. Right. But if we could some type of way, all of the guys that have made now billions of dollars said, we're not playing no more. We're starting our own. It would just change the landscape of everything.
Indeed.
But the thing is, who's going to have the courage to do that? Because now you're going to get sued. And now the contract that company gave me, and now my family is not going to be enjoying, say, the hundreds of millions. We might have to, you know what I'm saying? And it sounds cool, like if we do it, but then the thing is, who's going to really do it? You know, who's going to make that sacrifice so that we can have, you know, our own kind of thing? And it takes courage. You know, it's hard to do.
Everybody wants the product, but nobody wants the process.
You're preaching good.
So that's how that goes.
Yep.
We want the end result, you know what I mean? But nobody wants to endure getting there.
Right.
And I'm always challenging people to work the process. You know, I feel like I'm in a process, and I'm not trying to figure. That's the thing that I always want to be in, like, not figuring. God showed me and let me subject myself to that.
Right.
And let me be okay with it.
Absolutely.
I don't have to have the answers. I don't have to know. I don't have to see it. Give me the heart to follow and willingness.
Yep.
Amen to that.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen to it.
All right. We were talking about a couple of things tonight. We didn't even get to the game, but that was a good conversation. What say you?
Man, shoot, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Your online preachers, your TV preachers, who do you look to? Boomers. Tell us in the comments. Who do you look at? Who do you like? I know you like Jamal, but who else do you like?
Yeah, I would say I just don't listen to him as much as I used to. I used to listen to him every Monday.
His preaching is different though, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a little different. I don't know, man. I haven't really. There was a time where, I guess, you know, pandemic-ish time, I was listening to a lot of Ivy Hilliard. I was listening to a lot of Jamal Bryant. But I don't really listen to a lot of guys no more. I mean,
what do you think has changed about Jamal's preaching?
I don't know. You know, I know that the whole Black Lives Matter thing kind of affected him a lot. You know, he has a podcast. I take it in every now and then. I think that when it comes to you know, homosexuality, the LGBTQIA plus community, he said that he's had some changes, that his sister has helped him come to better understandings of some things.
His sister's gay?
I don't think she is.
Oh, she just helped him.
Yeah, she just helped him. You know, the generation after us, they're way more tolerant of what we would consider alternative lifestyles. I was talking to my brother the other day, and kid Caleb Williams, that plays for the Chicago Bears, quarterback for the Chicago Bears. He wears fingernail polish,
right?
Which, just like, if you just kind of process what I said, and guys our age, Mike Singletary, Walter Payton, your quarterback, it's just not going to happen. Like
McMahon,
it's not going to happen, and it has nothing to do with his sexuality, because from what I understand, he's straight.
Willie Gault.
Those guys are not going for that. You're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? You're just not going to do it. And so I think that there's just, you know, there's a softening that I think is very interesting. You know, he went and preached at the Vision Church in Atlanta. For those of you who don't know the Vision Church, It's a bishop and a first man, a very prosperous church in Atlanta, very, very popular. He's preached there and he went there and apologized to them about certain things that the black church has done.
How you feel about that? Okay.
So I get the spirit.
Yeah.
Because you and I grew up with the guys that we heard preach. They're very dogmatic.
Yeah.
You heard a lot of names.
Yeah.
Pejorative names that we don't say anymore.
Right.
And very passionate about, that. And so if you were same gender loving homosexual growing up in the church that we grew up in, you couldn't be comfortable because the guys were very dogmatic, if you will.
Right.
And so I can understand the spirit of saying that's not how we should have treated you. Mm-hmm. I can understand that, right? But the problem is that the nuance gets lost in how it appears. Mm-hmm. And the nuance is we threw y'all away. Mm-hmm. We're sorry. But how it appears is we owe y'all an apology because we were wrong.
Correct.
No. About what we were saying, not how we were saying.
Right.
And that's where it gets really, really funky because now the question for him to answer is, do you think that the message was wrong, even though the methods may have been wrong? Have you changed your stance on the message? And I guess that's a question that he would have to answer. I don't
know. Jamal Bryant, we look forward to you answering that. Loving the person and not the sin. How does that apply when it is so steadfastly positioning itself in iniquity when we clearly defined it earlier?
Right.
Known sin that you continue to do, right? How are we to accommodate that?
Right.
Or approach that? That's my, you know what I mean?
It's
this guy is a bishop, called himself a bishop, and got a husband.
Right.
What are you saying? And the people flocking to his church.
Right.
No.
And so let's critique the guys that raised us. Let's give them their credit. Mm-hmm. Because the reason why they were that way was to prevent this.
Yes. Yeah.
They were trying to say, if we don't stop y'all, you're going to have same gender loving bishops and men in high heels and lipstick leading worship in the house of the Lord. And we're saying this is approved by God.
Right.
So we got to go and we got to arrest you. Right. And so in their defense, if you saw your child about to get hit by a car, you're going to jump on that child. Mm-hmm. You might break their arm to save their life. Mm-hmm. Right. You might, if you see somebody going down the wrong road, you may cuss them out, if you will, to try to arrest their attention to save them from potential harm. Mm-hmm. And so to kind of defend it, the spirit is, we see y'all going down a road that is going to lead to ultimate destruction. We can't pacify it. Mm-hmm. We got to head it off and let you know the seriousness of it. So if I got to call you names to get your brain back right, I'll let God judge me, but I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that you understand. Mm-hmm. And that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Because this is where we are.
But they did it. Might be a little sticky. They did it, and we still here.
We still here.
The majority of society is coddling people's feelings.
Yep.
Instead of positioning them for their future or pushing them to their future.
Yep.
We're coddling feelings like, oh, it's okay. It's not okay. Do this.
No, it's not okay.
Don't do that. Do this.
Right.
Very simple.
It's very simple. It's very, I mean, me and Prince had a father-son moment yesterday where he kept doing something I kept telling him not to do.
Right.
And so I had to let him know that's not how this is going to work.
Right. Right.
And Prince he's sensitive, right? Stubborn, super stubborn, but sensitive. And so if I raise my voice, if I look a certain way, I don't gotta hit him. It breaks him.
Right.
And then he's broken and he wants me to hug him and whatever, all kind of stuff. Well, as a father, I don't want to put him in those positions. I don't want to see him cry. I don't want to see his heart broken. I don't want to feel like I'm bullying him. Right. But it's more important for me to be uncomfortable and make you uncomfortable here than down the line.
Yeah.
We're not getting it.
It's your responsibility.
It's my responsibility. And a lot of times what we want to do is we want to say, no. That's not how it works.
No.
That's not how this works.
No.
We have to deal with it. And you have to be uncomfortable in the uncomfortableness of it.
Yes.
Because it's going to help somebody down.
Because that's your lesson to get.
Exactly.
If not, you would have done it this way the first time, Jonah.
Come on.
You insisted on the lesson. And your father has to referee that in you and that and help you navigate it. But it's your lesson.
Exactly.
That's why the father let him go on to his riotous living. It was his choice to do it. You shouldn't do this, son, but okay. Right? This is not how it's gonna go. You can't stay here and tear up my stuff. You can't. It got to be this. You know what's very interesting too? Mothers generally speak many times, and fathers speak less times. This is kind of a general rule.
It is.
There's something about power, in my estimation. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where if we treat words with their intended power, then they do not require many.
Don't.
One time.
Don't.
It's more powerful to be able to say it and get results.
It's so true.
Do you agree?
100%, man. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Frequencies and vibrations and one time. How many times does the Most High have to reprimand you or tell you something before you get it?
Right.
I want to be the person that gets it the first time.
Me too.
I want to go to Nineveh and not Tarsus, even though I had plans to go to Tarsus. And I don't want to go to Tarsus to try to skirt going to Nineveh, right?
That's not going to end well. Because guess where you're going anyway? You're going to Nineveh through the fish mouth.
Right. I want to wait on the baby that God promised and not go with Hagar.
Exactly.
Right. So, yeah, that's me. I don't need a lesson. I don't want to have an extra lesson.
I don't need it. I don't need it, sir. I'm with you. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need the detour. I don't need the lesson. I don't need it.
What if someone you love and close to you comes to you and insists for you to walk that journey with them, saying that, hey, we are brothers keepers. We got to, bear one another's burdens and blah, 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 blah. What say you?
I totally understand the idea of bearing each other's burdens, but I don't have to bear your consequences when you ignore the reality of your actions.
Adam, Abraham, Samson, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, goes on and on.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you know right, do right.
Yep. And the thing is that God he's so gracious that you trying to push me into something, if I take a stand against it, there are times when he will, spare you.
Yeah.
If I'm standing in my business, just look at, here we go.
Right.
I guess we came full circle. Look at Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right.
Right. I guess we came full circle.
Right.
Because Abraham is negotiating, and it's like, look, all right, if I can get 1 or 2, 3, 4, all right, we good. Some people that's just not gonna go along with it. That's why you got to be the person that says, nah, I ain't
That's
doing
what I say. go this way. Everybody going that way. I'm gonna go here.
Yep.
Yeah. You got to be able to stand. That's the ground you stand on.
That's it.
Stand 10 toes down.
That's it.
Man.
That's it.
Clem the Gym said, great discussion.
Oh, man. Appreciate you, Clem, as always, man.
As always, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think that, man, I think that it was an interesting discussion. I'm curious about how the next 5 years will be.
Wow.
With regards to the alphabet community and our tolerance and accommodating of it.
Yeah. It's I think it's interesting because, you know, a lot of times, you know, the pendulum swings one way, and then sometimes it kind of swings back towards the middle. I think that you know, everybody has. I mean, I'm a firm believer. Everybody has the right to do kind of what you want to do, but you have to also deal with. There has to be a level of moral standard that came from somewhere, or else we would all be living in just complete and total anarchy.
True indeed.
And
true indeed.
To give credence to whatever you ascribe that to, for us, you know, we believe it comes from God,
right?
Through His Word,
yes.
Through Jesus, through the Bible,
yes.
And if there are things that the Word of God seems to be very clear about not doing, those are just the things that we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And we can talk about things that God winks at. We can talk about gray areas, but there are just certain things that the whole witness of Scripture doesn't seem to justify. And it's just gonna be real interesting, like you said, to see kind of where it lands.
So many changes. I'm seeing a lot now on my timeline. I don't know what's going on with my algorithm, but I'm seeing a lot of detransitioning people, which is very powerful to me, very interesting. There was a couple, a man who was living as a homosexual, being a gay man, and then this was my nephew right here. I just saw that it was aware. Oh, yeah. We're learning how our letters and identifying letters and stuff. So anyway, the man was homosexual who gave his life to Christ now, and he married a trans man.
Okay.
Which it was a woman who had surgery, taking her breasts off and doing all this, but then they got together. She got pregnant. They found God.
Right.
Got together. She got pregnant, and their whole mission now is just online talking about their wrong choices, and being an example of that. But she was, it was very moving. She had this thing where they say she's not gonna be able to handle it because she became a man, full-fledged, you know, had the strap thing on after getting her breast removed, double mastectomy. But she got pregnant, and her trauma was that her decision made her her past decision made her currently not be able to breastfeed her baby. Yeah. So her heart she was beside herself from making this thing, and she was telling people about not to do it. You know, she was using that testimony. But then the Lord saw fit and put milk in her chest. Good God.
Wow.
Then the problem is, again, because of her choices, there's no way for it to come out.
Right. Wow.
Man, so the comments were reading about how God is showing you grace, you know, and getting married to your testimony and things like that.
Right.
Powerful, powerful, powerful.
Wow.
And so I'll be praying for them that their journey is secure, because they're getting you know, people are coming at them all kind of ways, but they are leaning into the Most High, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
Right. It's crazy because that's their situation.
Right.
And obviously their situation is real to them, so they want to share it with people. But that has nothing to do with you and your situation, right? If you choose that if that doesn't minister to you, then leave them people alone.
Right.
They're not bothering you. They're trying to talk to people to where there's a witness, right? And if it's not going to work for you, leave them alone. They're not hurting your community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just very weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I learn how to read and I want to teach other people how to read, and you want to stay illiterate, don't get mad at the person that wants to learn how to read. You don't have to. This is not your fight.
I've seen that in my classroom days, though.
Oh, I see it all the time. It happens all the time. The kids that don't want to learn want to bother the kids that do.
Yeah.
Calm down with that. You go outside and be a knucklehead and end up
whatever you do.
Whatever you're gonna do in life. leave these children alone. Leave these children alone. It's like, man, these people feel like God has led them, whatever. You can accept or reject, but why are you gonna buy? Don't leave them alone.
Right.
They're not hurting nobody.
I totally agree. I'm a fan of their journey and their testimony. Their witness was powerful to me, because they are saying that, and they are in full transparency. I made these decisions, and God was not pleased.
Wow.
And I'm grateful He brought me over here now.
Right.
And I'm telling y'all, don't do it. You can do what you want, but I did it. I'm an example of God's grace and mercy. Oh man, it was just so beautiful to see them interacting and I just thought it was awesome. You know what I mean?
It is, man. It is.
But she got a double mastectomy, man.
Wow.
And then God still put milk there.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And she said the doctors told him, the science told him, you're not gonna be able to have, produce milk. He was taking all of the ducts out, taking the whole, and you're not gonna have baby in there. She got pregnant and milk is there.
Wow. Wow.
So they're trying to figure out how to get it out.
Right? That's crazy.
How awesome is that, though?
Man.
Only God, that part.
That's it.
Only Him. Because you were determined.
Yep.
Listen, I said this before. Genitals do not affirm gender. Then how does removing them do that?
Just like this, the coins. You only want one side of the coin. It got two sides.
And they're polar opposites. They never see each other. They have the same value. When you flip it, it lands on one side. Never can land on
right.
It lands on one side or the other.
Yep.
Because you don't see it, because this is what we talk about all the time. Somebody's understanding. Right. You're not gonna see everything.
Right.
Because you don't see it, don't mean that it's not valid or not a point.
Yep.
It's a coin. It have two sides.
Yep.
All you see is one, but the other one is still there.
Same exact value. Yep.
Ain't that good?
Real good. Real good.
Polar opposite, same value.
Yep.
Facing different directions, same value.
I love that. I love it.
So, we appreciate you guys being with us. Our time is far spent.
Yep.
Booming.
All right. Appreciate y'all booming.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Boom, boom, boom.
We're booming. We will see y'all same time next week. All right.
We'll be here.
Yes. I like our logo. Mm-hmm. Pastor got it on too. Do that. Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all.
We'll see y'all.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom and out. Yeah, man.